12-year-old me would have been quaking if she could have gotten her hands on an outfit like this.
Lizzie McGuire, you are an outfit repeater.
Hey guys, today I'm just playing dress up and putting together some Valentine's Day themed outfits, or in my case, Galentine's Day themed. Charles and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day that much since our anniversary comes up so soon afterwards. So really today I need your help deciding what I should wear for my Galentine's Day tea party that I'm hosting this weekend. By the time I upload this, my tea party's tomorrow, so vote quickly. And don't worry, it's not all pink, although there is a lot of pink, but not all pink. All right, let's go. So the first one that we're starting with does not feel overtly Valentine's Day themed, and I think that's why I like it so much. And I actually wore this yesterday, and I liked it so much I decided to include it in this week's video. Really leaning into a more 90s look for this. So I've got these black boots that you guys have seen pop up over and over again. I just absolutely love them. The long plaid skirt, this kind of burgundy maroon velvet top, as well as a little heart necklace. Now, I initially wasn't so keen on the large necklace trend that kind of came around last summer and into the fall with these large chunky necklaces on a black string, but then I realized I already had stuff to make one. I just had a pack of leather cording in my craft supplies, and then this was a locket that I actually bought back when I was like 16, so I thought might as well give it a try, see if I like it. And I think for this outfit it does work, and I like that it's stuff that I already had. It's personal to me. It's not something that I went out and bought just for the trend. And so mostly this is only tying into Valentine's Day with the heart motif and then the red velvet. I just love any texture that has like a really nice feeling to it, so velvet, corduroy, satin, things like that. And then I ended up throwing on this gray cardigan over it just because I really needed an extra layer. It's a little bit too cold to be running around in just a tank top right now, even if this is a nice warm thick material, but I think it works pretty okay with the outfit actually. And this is just one of those cardigans that I've kept around because it is a good basic that I might only end up wearing once a year, but every time I end up using it, I'm really glad I haven't gotten rid of it yet. I think I've had this for like a decade.
This is ancient.
And then I went with this leather jacket over top, and I think that really just pulls it all together. I actually feel very much like Jenny from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Hashtag justice for Jenny. But here's a good, darker, moodier option if you want to be a little bit festive, but not overtly so. I have designated this my unofficial Valentine's Day dress just because it is pink and sparkly, but I like that it's subtly pink and sparkly. And so this dress I feel definitely looks best when it's played up very preppy. And although I don't typically like super preppy looks, I think I like this one just because it does lean a little bit darker. If I'm gonna dress preppy, I do want it to be more pieces in black.
Does it come in black?
So for me, this is just the sweet spot of like pink and girly, but anchored in those dark colors. So I went with my Mary Janes, some black knee-high socks, and then underneath, this is actually another detachable collar. This one I made from a thrifted shirt a few years ago. I ended up not liking the shirt, but I really liked the collar, so I just cut the collar off and kept it. But I just really love the texture of this dress. It makes me very happy. And I went with a hair scarf this time. I'm not sure if I'm loving that, but I think a hair scarf kind of fits in nicely with this. And for a coat, I would probably just go with my black wool coat. For the most part for this video, I'm not going to bother too much with outerwear unless I feel very strongly about which one I would wear, because some of you know by now that I'm pretty utilitarian with my coats, so I'm not going to get too much into outerwear in this video. This is a dress that I don't wear often, but I do really like this one. And it feels a little bit retro, a little bit like 60s mod girl, so this is definitely a strong contender for the tea party. Here's an option that has no pink or red whatsoever, but I thought was still thematically appropriate. This feels so girly and feminine, and I love it. So underneath I have layered a lace bodysuit that I made a couple videos ago. This is a slip dress that I thrifted, I want to say in October, and it's just been hanging in my closet waiting for me to style it. So I feel like this is a really fun way to wear it layered over some kind of see-through top. I wasn't sure what to do with the shoes. I went with the Doc Martens in this case. I could have also gone with my riding boots, but the riding boots that I have didn't feel quite right. I think what I envision in my mind is something similar to the Demonia shaker boots. I just don't want like a 4-inch heel. So something like that is more what I envision with this dress. I think the Doc Martens are the best option that I have in this case. And then because I went with such a heavy dark leather for my shoe, I think I would then wear my black leather motorcycle jacket to then kind of complete the amount of juxtaposition we have going on across the whole body. And I think I might actually go with sheer tights under this. Do I want to bother doing that? Yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that definitely feels a lot better with the sheer tights on there. Just looks a little bit more balanced to me, a little bit more weather appropriate, even though these have absolutely no weather protection because they're very thin. And then I do think some layered necklaces or just some kind of crazy jewelry with like really sharp metal accents would be fun. Again, just to contrast with the softness of the dress and the bodysuit. This is also a really strong contender for Saturday. I like this a lot as well. Ooh, the competition's heating up. Listen, I know I have no business wearing something this frou-frou and ruffly and girly, but we're just playing dress up. I just really loved how girly these two things were together. I don't know that I would necessarily wear it myself because I do kind of feel like I just raided one of my niece's closets and stole this from a little girl, but I still think it's cute. I'm not crazy about this as my shoe choice, but I couldn't really settle on one of the other shoes. Hang on, let me swap it real quick. Actually, no, my first instinct was right. The Mary Janes are better. I think what was going on was at first I put them on with white socks bunched around my ankles as if they were ankle warmers, and that made it feel a little girlish. Those all together felt too childish. I mean, this is a very childish look altogether, but there is just a tipping point for me where it's too much, where I wouldn't even consider it at all. I mean, I do really like this. It just makes me happy to look at it because it's so frilly and pink and girly, and that's all stuff that I love. But I do think it is just a little bit too childish for me. I could still wear this to the tea party anyway. No one there is gonna care. And that's partially why I started hosting the tea parties, not only to have an excuse to get together with my friends, but also as an excuse to wear the pretty things that sit in the back of the closet and never get a chance to be worn out. So this could still be in the running for that. Here's another option without pink. I don't like this as much as I did in my head. I mean, it's okay. It's not gonna be what I end up wearing for the tea party, but I really wanted to play around with pairing embroidery with satin. I do like the combination of those textures together, and then I thought adding a little bow around the collar would be a nice little feminine detail. This is actually a piece of scrap chiffon from my previous video. I decided to singe both ends of it and just use it as a ribbon. So no pink, but it's very feminine still. This is probably reading more gray on camera than it actually is. It's kind of like a grayish sage green satin. And then I just went with the block heel ankle boots. Those felt like the best option for this. I think this is just feeling a little bit too corporate for my personal taste. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. Like, I guess I could swap out the ankle boots for my Doc Martens and that would feel a little bit more casual. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it is about this that just isn't quite hitting because I really like both of these pieces. So this is perfectly okay, but I don't think I'll be using this outfit. Here is a really simple but still very feminine option. I've been dying to put this sweater and this skirt together ever since I thrifted this skirt back in the fall. I really like pink and purple together, and I'm just very glad that what I envisioned in my head is working out in person, or at least I think it is. I have it paired with my Doc Martens. Hypothetically, I could have used any other boot. That's just what I was feeling this time around. And because the outfit is so simple and just is basic blocks of color, I think you could have a lot of fun with crazy jewelry. So I went with like some dangly, oh, it's caught in my hair. So I went with some dangly flower earrings. I think anything with like pearls or little flower details. I really like wearing stuff with pearl elements with this sweater. I just think that looks really good against the color. Honestly, if it ends up being really cold Saturday, this might be what I go with. Because the sweater is very warm, I could just layer leggings under the skirt as an extra warmth layer, and really, when in doubt, go with simplicity. I'm really digging the simplicity of this outfit, and I think this could work for a lot of other occasions, not just Valentine's Day. And here's one for my vampy babes who don't want to be wearing any pink or white. This feels so much like something Drusilla would wear, and I think that makes officially 2 Buffy references in one video, but I digress. But definitely leaning into a darker romantic feeling with this outfit. It's got a very dark red pattern on this top, paired with a long black ruffle skirt, which I made in my previous video, and then black lace-up roper boots, and then I felt like a velvet choker would be appropriate for this as well. So altogether very dark and moody, but also kind of romantic with the ruffles and the pattern on the top. I did cinch it in the back with this little clip that I got on Amazon. It's crooked, but I don't care. Gosh, 12-year-old me would have been quaking if she could have gotten her hands on an outfit like this. I had a couple more outfits put together, but I'm getting really hangry, so I'm just gonna wrap up there. Maybe I'll just put a picture on screen of what the outfit was gonna be, because I just don't have it in me. I'm incredibly irritable right now. So those are the Valentines / Galentines outfits that are in the running to be my outfit for my tea party this weekend. Vote down in the comments which one you think I should wear, and if you made it all the way to the end of the video, let's do one of those little like multi-heart emojis down in the comments. Yeah, drop that down in the comments if you're still watching. But thank you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye. Alright. I just thought think, what the heck? You're gonna hear my boots squeaking this whole time. Where did I put my clicker?